Indie Case Files is a production of Inked Geek Studios. Get this and other great shows at inkgeekstudios.com. To help support Indie Case Files and Inked Geek Studios, go to patreon.com/igstudios. As little as $1 a month can help this show and other great content. Thank you very much. Even in the corporate world of AAA video game development, some developers wish to keep the love and passion for gaming alive. What follows is a sea of games designed and published by small studio developers. Some bad, some good. We'll help you decide. This is Indie Case Files, and these are their games.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
All right. Um. So yeah, quick side note. Again, live show. Twitch hasn't been getting audio for like the last 20 minutes.
Oh, sorry, Twitch. I was brilliant the whole
That
time.
also means that the recorded video didn't get it either, but that's fine. I can go back and redub it over with the audio track.
Yeah. More work for you.
Annalisa, I'm so happy you said something. There's like 5 people in chat. How come nobody said anything? But thank
Oh,
you for speaking up. Yeah, no. So behind the scenes, no, I had to. You have to make new files in OBS, and you have to add the audio input for each individual scene that
mm-hmm.
you do.
Mm-hmm.
I did it for our
Yeah.
splash screen. Didn't do it for the screen with the cameras.
Smooth.
Well, that's what happened with Movie Busters last night when I went to do the outro and the quote didn't play.
Yes.
I never
Yeah.
added the audio input to the splash screen, but I added it to the cameras.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I haven't
How
been
long you been doing this? You're new. It's fine.
3.5 years, right?
I remember my first time. So anyway, where were we?
I don't know. Um, so yeah, so as far as the game, like I said, I found it to be a lot of fun. It is something that with indie games, sometimes there's depth, sometimes there isn't, sometimes there's a lot of replay value. Again, sometimes there isn't.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to survival games, because survival games are very hit or miss, and they can become very repetitive and very boring very fast. I cannot tell you how many survival games I have on my Steam list that have less than a couple hours played.
Right.
So this game, when you add all those different elements along with the amazing artwork, the art in
Mm-hmm.
this game is absolutely beautiful. It's very Tim Burton-esque, which I really like.
Yeah, it's like Tim Burton meets Edward Gorey, and it's
It
brilliant.
looks great, and all the different characters have so many different features and elements. And I think that pulling it out and making it that isometric view, as
Yep.
opposed to where most of them are first person, it really adds that element because again, each character has its own personality. It's not just like there's stat points on a sheet.
Yeah. They
So
talk to each other.
yeah, the
Kind of neat.
interactions are great. The
Yeah.
humor that pops up whenever there's like with the fire or things like that. And
Yep.
again, back to the different characters. Everyone talks differently. Everyone has their own lines.
Right. And so they don't actually have voice actors. It's just sound effects with subtitles, but all the sound effects are different from character to character,
Right.
which is really funny.
I like that element. Yeah, it's almost kind of Simsy in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
But I like that element where it's all text, and I like that on a small scale. I like it in this situation. Like when it comes to your big RPGs, things like that, give me voiceover. Like when you're
Yeah,
trying to
yeah, yeah.
present a
But
world
I
to
mean,
me,
you
give me
don't
actors.
necessarily have to say anything.
Right. But yeah, exactly. In this, it's nice because while each character has its own art, where its own appearance, its own look, its own style, as people play it, you're going to see that character and you're going to picture something and you're going to hear something and that character is going to be there. So when you read it, it allows you to kind of have that character so you can have
Yep.
your own thought to all these characters because
Yeah.
you are literally surviving with them. So, and then I like how all their ghosts are different too.
Yeah.
All their,
Yeah, they are.
and then they all act differently and you can go around and haunt things and things like that.
Yeah. You chased away that scary ghost that was that shadow thing that was trying to steal my fire.
Yeah, so there is
And
that
you were a
element.
ghost.
There is that element there,
That was
where
cool.
yes, you drive the living players insane.
I went completely insane on my iPad version when I was playing, and that like the screen goes all crazy and like the edges of everything are just cracking apart, and it is so good.
Now that
I've
is
seen a few games where they visually represent madness, and this is one of the better ones.
so as you start to go further insane, you get all those monsters that you kind of see the silhouettes of roaming around.
Mhm.
Now when you break fully insane, those monsters become actual and can attack you and kill you, right?
I believe some of them can, yeah.
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 I think
So I
I
went,
I think I experienced that in the game when I found the shovel and I was digging up all the graves.
oh
'Cause
yeah.
I think that drives you insane too.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
And
That was
again,
a good
go ahead.
that was a good time when we found the shovel and dug up graves. And the birds. The tall birds.
Oh my god.
Like ostrich things that try and like pound you into the ground, and they are relentless. Like, I'm used to WoW, right? Where like everything has sort of an aggro distance. Like, once you run out of it, if you haven't been bothering them, they'll just turn around and run back. Tall birds do not give a shit about your aggro distance.
Well, they're tall. They can see for a while. They have a large aggro radius.
I like your logic.
They can see over the
Solid.
trees.
It's good.
Height is an advantage. Have you? So you haven't killed one?
No.
No. I'm sure they're
No.
killable.
I stole that egg that time. That did not go well.
Chased the fuck out of you.
Shit, they're following me. Oh, that was the worst. I could not get away. And then I died. And then I got to make you crazy.
Yep.
Way more fun.
So that is one thing that we ran into, and I don't think we ever got around to really figuring it out. And either it's difficult or we just couldn't. We weren't paying attention. But the whole resurrecting a fallen person.
Essentially, there's like 3 or 4 items you can make in order to resurrect someone, and they all require at least one like hard to find item. The closest we would have come was when I was playing the spider, because there's like a couple that aren't too bad to make with like spider silk and stuff, but you only generate, basically there's one character that grows a beard and you make a razor and shave it off, and then you get beard hair, which is a thing you can use to build one of the items that'll let you resurrect. And then the other one is spider silk, and the spider also grows a beard that you can use a razor and shave off, but it's spider silk. So like maybe could have come closer, but you're also trying to stay alive, which is hard. You kind of have to pick one or the other. Sorry.
That was an interesting, again, that time element with the beards, like you mentioned. So the character I was playing the most, I forget their names completely.
Yeah.
But the character I was playing the most, which is, the brother and sister that are featured on the front cover.
Yep.
Which the sister is the one that can light fires at will.
Yeah, she also has a teddy bear, and I don't know what it does, but I put it down one time, I think it was at night, and it started walking around. But beyond that, I don't know what it actually does.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There are, aside from having different features, there are also a lot of different abilities with, like, so the spider can befriend spider, the monster can befriend spiders.
Yep.
You
start with a spider nest in your inventory that you can just put down. And then I accidentally aggroed all the spiders and killed them. But
as opposed to being friends with them.
I couldn't figure out how to be friends with them, so
I will bring you to life and slaughter you.
Gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Right?
It's a cold, dark world out there. There's the warrior girl, the Viking.
Yeah,
who
the
starts
Valkyrie.
off with an axe.
She
was pretty great.
Yeah. And then there's Brandon's character.
Yeah, the lumberjack that turns into a rabid beaver.
Right. So, and
solid.
He's an element, again, all he really, he has 2 things. He has the axe, which chops things down faster and doesn't break. So that's a resource saver, especially in the beginning. Because, man, fuck twigs. But
I had one world spawn. So that's the other part that makes this super replayable, in addition to all the characters, is that the worlds are like generated every time.
Right.
So it's different, very different. And it's not just like spawning on different parts of the map. So you're like, oh, we'll just go over here and that's where rabbits live. No, like it's different every time. So like I did wind up on one map that was just all twig trees forever. And I was like, man, this is going to suck when I need to light a fire. Just burn it all down. It's fine.
Just burn it.
Yeah.
Like there are plenty of songs to go along with that. Just burn it down. Crank some music and burn it down.
Yeah.
But so he has the axe, and then he also has, like you said, the rabid beaver, the were beaver.
Yes. So what was the deal with that? It was like once you consumed or chopped down like the right number of trees. Is that?
So I didn't quite figure out what caused it. I think it's similar to the insanity thing. I think just certain things cause it.
And so you didn't have like a UI.
They tick it. Well, it was there. I just didn't. I never really paid attention to what changed it. Yeah. But then what happened is once you turned, and this was the hard part. So once you are the werebeaver, you can basically destroy everything. It's an amazing.
I can't.
There's jokes.
I can't get enough of you saying werebeaver.
Once you're the werebeaver, you can destroy everything.
You never go back. I don't.
Once you wear beaver, you never go back. But yeah, so you can just destroy everything. It's a great element for gathering resources quickly. Trees go
Yeah.
down quick. You can destroy things that couldn't be destroyed. It allows you to uproot things that you can only otherwise uproot with the shovel.
Yeah.
So it's a
You
great.
can't pick anything up though.
You cannot. The way that you just turn back to lumberjack dude is to eat trees. So
Yeah.
the beaver needs to consume wood to calm down.
Right. I mean, it's true. I'm not gonna argue this logic. It's flawless.
It's flawless logic. So
Yeah.
then you can go around and pick everything up. The problem is if you utilize the tactic of you can harvest resources quickly, when you transform into the werebeaver, you drop everything you're holding on the ground because apparently he doesn't have pockets.
No, it's like the Hulk, man. He just rips his clothes off and just goes.
He's got shorts.
Those don't have pockets. There's no room for any of those shorts.
So
Come
yeah,
on.
so you don't want to go too far because if you forget where you're going, because again, I mentioned he has the axe that is faster and indestructible, it will drop. And
Yep.
if you lose it, there's no way to get it back without picking it back up.
Yeah.
So that's the thing there. The guy that I was using the most, again, the guy on the cover, he does grow the beard, which is used to make it's like the meat statue. I forget what they actually call it, but it's the the pillar of meat, the meat man, and
Yeah.
then which is a resurrection tool.
And part of the problem was that you were the one that always died.
Right, exactly. So I don't know what else he did because his description was just like can grow a magnificent beard, like that was
Yeah.
his thing. And there are a couple other characters that have different things. Well, I mean, they all have different things. Like we talked about the Viking / Valkyrie, who was very powerful, had strong weapons at first, but could only consume meat. So
Yeah.
your low hanging fruit, literally like your berries, things, your seeds, things like that
Seeds.
are quick to you have to go directly to hunting.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, that's not hard. Like making a trap and catching rabbits is not hard, provided you can find carrots.
right. See, and
Like
that's the
that's the
interesting
sticky point.
that's the interesting part with her character is that again you get the added weapon, so you're like, oh, hunting's easy, but it's next to impossible to kill something with a weapon unless you have a trap because shit just runs away.
Yeah. And then frogs pick your pocket.
They do.
I hated them.
But again,
You could kill them.
that's one of those little things that when you're playing this game for the first few times and you're experiencing it, you see that and you're like, man, that was an amazing attention to detail.
Yep.
Because
Oh,
frogs
absolutely.
have sticky tongues, so when they lick you, it pulls stuff out of your pocket. So again, that's a cool element. Things light on fire.
Yeah.
If you light a tree, like the fire will spread. You don't necessarily see that in a lot of games. So there are little tiny attentions to detail that really make this game shine over other games.
Yeah, absolutely. In spite of it being what could realistically be called, like, I mean, it's fairly simplistic, on the surface. I mean,
Right.
the art style's awesome and gorgeous, but simple. Like,
Right.
it's nothing, it's all 2D and, but yeah, once you get into it, it's a little insane. Like, I'm reading the strategies. I was reading strategies after we died to those dogs that just appeared from lightning bolts or something. And it's like, yeah, you got to build a tunnel of like walls and then stand at the end so that they can only get through one at a time and you can kill them. And I'm like, we're not doing that at day 10. I'll tell you that right now. Right now I'm going, ooh, toasted seeds. Fantastic. Exactly what I wanted. Look at my flower crown that's helping me not go insane because Nate died 3 days ago and is just following me around. It's amazing. This game is like every family road trip. Like this is like the Addams Family road trip. Like camping. Like, oh, well, there we go.
Shit. So I guess that will lead us into favorite and memorable moments. I mean, I guess me haunting you is obviously up there.
It was no. So I think though, when you accidentally found the cave in the ground, like that was pretty awesome because it's all the like bioluminescent mushrooms, which mushrooms are good to eat. So I go down there and I'm like picking all the mushrooms. And you're like, stop. Stop.
It's the only source of light. We will die.
Yeah.
It's like you will not be hungry, but you will be dead.
It's fine. It's fine. They told me don't starve. They didn't tell me,
Don't die in the dark.
yeah, don't get killed by monsters. Like, it's fine. I don't see
I
the
mean,
problem.
that's flawless logic.
Yeah. Flawless. We had some pretty sweet camps at one point. We built a farm because I scared that buffalo so it would poop.
You scared the shit out of them.
I did.
Those are elements too, and I'm sure there are significantly more that we didn't even see.
Yeah.
But like we met a pig man, and you feed him mushrooms.
I gave him mushrooms,
and he poops.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you take the
that's what
poop
it
and
was.
then you make the farm.
Yeah. You scare the lizards and they drop
grass.
grass.
Yeah. It's because lizards are stoners carrying grass.
All right, that all makes sense.
So yeah, and then I mean, we had enabled caves, and I think that's what the cave, again, the cave with the mushrooms. I think that was one of the caves. And I can only imagine with all the different biomes that are in the game that there are also significantly different styles of caves as well.
Yeah, I wound up in one. I think I started a game before you logged on. So it was like in Don't Starve Together, but I was just walking around. And I went in a cave, and like when I got down there was an entire camp. There was a tent, there was a campfire, there were corpses, but it was like a fully formed little like campsite down there. And I was like, well, I guess I'll stay.
These people have starved.
Yeah, it's fine. Their loss.
I would say my most memorable moment, like at least like, yeah, the most memorable moment was the first time when I was the lumberjack guy and I turned into the werebeaver because I had no fucking clue.
You had no idea, and you were not nearby. Like you were not in my eye line, and I just hear you on Discord just yelling about being a werebeaver, and I don't know. I'm like, where are you? You're like, I don't know.
I don't
Good.
know.
That's very helpful. Yeah, not having a compass and rotating your map will screw you up. It's fun if you don't pay attention.
Again, those little survival elements. And I like that you can rotate the map because sometimes in these isometrics, you're locked into that.
Yeah.
So I like that
you were like, go north. And I was like, I don't have north anymore.
I mean, if you happen to be around like a path, you know, so you can use something as some sort of landmark.
Yeah.
But if you are in the woods and you spin your map, you know, you better have something. And there are also, so you start off with the most basic of tools, right? And then you build the science station.
Yep.
And then you build, what was it, the alchemy station?
Alchemy, yeah.
Right. And then, so those unlock different things, and they go to different levels. You end up turning logs into wood, and you can turn grass into rope and things like that. And you just compound what you're building.
Yep.
So it's cool. Then you can get like, you know, your golden tools, which last even longer, chop faster. Because man, I tell you that is a bitch when you run out of, again, twigs. Fuck twigs. Yep. But when you run out of them and your axe breaks, like you are just gonna,
you're fucked. Yeah. You better hope somebody else has an extra axe.
Right, exactly. Or you just run around aimlessly looking for twigs on the ground
till you die.
Right.
Of starvation.
Right.
But you had twigs. So.
I found a twig. So then we got into the cartography station, but we never really did much with it. And at that point, you can make maps, and it says like you can label where you are, and you can actually draw out a map of where you went.
Yeah.
So there are elements to some of the tools that they give you that make me wonder if one of the strategies that you can use, even when playing multiplayer, is to separate and almost play together or play separately, and then just kind of and work it that way. Because with the cartography station, again, you can be like, hey, this is what I mapped out. Here you go. And I can only assume it updates your personal minimap.
Right.
Which is a cool
I would
feature.
think so.
So, and I'm excited. Again, I'd love to get back into it at some point and take it even further and see what else there is to unlock. What else? Because there are so many little things, little vanity things, little random, like, I mean, I found a miner's hat that always gave me light. You had a beekeeper's hat.
I was a beekeeper. At one point. I could befriend bees, which was awesome because they will fuck you up.
Yes.
If you are not paying attention. I like that we learned everything the hard way.
Shit, bees hurt.
How do you know? Because they fucking killed you. That's how you know. That sucked.
And even if you have the beekeeper's hat, God forbid you're trying to get some bees and you end up coming across a wasp nest.
Yeah.
Those fuckers suck.
I mean, fuck wasps, though. Like, in reality, in video games.
They're just assholes everywhere.
Universally. They don't make honey. They don't make shit. They are the freeloaders. I I hate them. But I got pretty addicted to this game.
Yeah.
Like pretty much after like the second time we played. That was like more than 2 days. Yeah, it was in. Because then you're like, okay, like, and it's like, it's not even like that time. The time with the dogs was a little frustrating because before, and then it's like curveball out of the blue. I don't know what's happening, and then we lost everything. That was a little frustrating, but overall, like, it's not like when you die, you're still just like, I mean, at least for me, it's like, okay, all right, so next time, I got to do this, this, and this. And then, of course, you wind up in the middle of a desert or something.
Well, that's kind of what it is. I mean, it has those elements. I mean, there's nothing that's roguelike about it. Like when you start over, you start over.
Yeah.
But it does have that feel because you die. I mean, especially at first, you die so quickly.
Yeah.
And when you die, it's not like they expect you to die. It's built into the game because it's just there's a pop-up in the UI that says everybody is dead and you are restarting in 10 seconds and hold this button to restart now or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So again, nothing carries over, but it is built into the game that you are going to die. You are going to die a lot, and they're going to make it as easy for you as possible.
Yep.
So again, it's very similar to a roguelike in that element where, again, whether you're just talking Rogue Legacy or even Darkest Dungeon in some ways, like when you approach something and you're approaching it for the first time, it's probably going to kill you.
Yeah.
And then you go back.
Or you should at least assume it is.
Right, exactly. And then you go back and now you have a little bit more knowledge, you're a little bit more prepared. And then you encounter it again with, more knowledge of the encounter, but also you have the time it takes to get there. So now maybe you're not only are you familiar with the encounter more, but you're better prepared when you get there. There are different elements to the level of that there.
Yeah.
So
As long as it's not tall birds.
right. Because fuck tall birds.
Bastards.
In the chat room. It's like visiting Australia.
It is. It's an awful lot like visiting Australia. Actually, you can't tell me it's not. There's like lizards and emus. It may be Australia.
Wait, hold on. Are there werebeavers in Australia?
I mean, that could be. We'll have to find out. We'll
Because
look into
I'm
it.
totally going to Australia. On the scene. Don't starve in real life. So, so would you, I mean, I think it goes without saying, I think we'd both recommend it.
Oh, absolutely. I like it because I mean, like I'm not like beyond Minecraft. Like I'm not a real like survival game player because like a lot of those games have things that are going to come get you, and that scares the shit out of me, and I don't like it. So, I mean, this other than those dogs, this doesn't really have that. You know what I mean? Like, and we were warned about it for like 2 minutes, but we were like, all right. So like it's lighthearted enough that I can play it because I'm a pansy, but it was still like really fun. So yeah, we should definitely like if anybody wants to come play with us, hit us up.
For sure.
You know where we are.
Yeah, most people know how to find us. I mean, we're loud. We're both loud people.
Yeah.
What do you think? So one comment to that, because again, you don't like games that are typically scary or will make you jump. Like one of the things, to kind of talk about the show a little bit directly as well. Like one of the things we talked about, if there are indie horror games that I want to play, then there will be those weeks in the show where we're playing separate games.
Yeah. Yeah, not in your life. How's the game? 0 stars. It was the worst game ever. You didn't get past the title screen. I know. I don't care.
But do you think the fact that, so again, it was lighthearted.
Yep.
The music was very upbeat in a lot of ways, but
Yeah.
there was also a level of creepiness to what it was always presenting you.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think that kind of helped because it wasn't like just in your face at a given moment, but it was just kind of a consistency that was always there? It just kind of helped level you out for the gameplay.
Yeah, I mean because that whole Burton Addams Family Edward Gorey like welcome to Night Vale. Everything's creepy, but that's okay. Like that's something that I'm very comfortable with.
Right.
Um, and there's no like jump scares or anything like that. So it was chill enough for me
Right.
that I could handle it.
You don't mind the creepy setting. It's just the being scared out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah. I mean, I would say the same. I thoroughly enjoyed the game. It was a lot of fun to play. It's again, I've played my fair share of survival games, and I like some. I don't like most. And this game kept me wanting to play.
Yeah.
I typically don't do well with games that can be frustratingly difficult. Anyone that knows me knows I don't like to lose at things. So like I have tried over and over and over again to play Darkest Dungeon,
Yeah.
and that game is fucking mad. Like it is hard. Like you are meant to die. It's built into the
Right.
game. It's like, I mean, it has a death consistency of like that of a Dark Souls.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, I enjoy the element of the game. It's like horror Final Fantasy,
Right.
but it's just difficult. So again, this game has that level of difficulty, but it's so quick and easy to kind of get back up and going again. Other than
Yeah.
the fact that you're starting from day one, you don't really get that element of like. It's not that the game is hard; it's that you're approached with challenges.
Yeah.
So it's a different element, I think.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of the times that we failed, it was because we tried to rush things.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was like, well, if we'd spent another day just kind of chilling out and hunting rabbits or something, like maybe we would have made it.
We just killed a
then-
few more bunnies.
Yeah. They make a horrible noise when you kill them too, though. It haunts me. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. You get to play dress up.
You
Yeah, that's
do?
the thing we didn't talk about. You
Oh,
level
yeah.
up, right? Was that how that worked?
I don't
Were
know
we
if it
leveling
was-
up kind of?
I don't know if it was leveling up. If it was maybe like, I mean, there aren't. I mean, I think there are Steam achievements, but I don't think that was an element of it. I think it was just like there was a bar that. I mean, I guess it was leveling in the most simple form, but you didn't have like a number. There was no numerical value attached.
And you
to
didn't
it.
like gain any abilities from
Right.
it, but you did things and reached a point, and at that point they gave you a present, and it had like vanity items in it. Like I got a plaid skirt, which I wore on my spider, which was the best. Plaid skirt and a flower crown on a spider is kind of the greatest thing I've ever done. I'm gonna put it on my resume. Big picture right on the front.
So I think I got. What did my guy get? He got like. I know I
You get
got
some
like,
kind of top hat or something.
no, I got like the tuxedo gloves,
Oh yeah.
and then there was a shirt that he got. I think it was just like a dress shirt.
yeah.
but
You
yeah,
were
there's
real
a-
dapper.
There are a whole bunch of different vanity items you can get, and then we didn't dabble with it much. But one thing we'll talk about is the Steam Workshop. At least if
Yeah.
you're playing it on PC with Steam,
Yep.
there are an incredible amount of Steam Workshop items covering everything. Like I downloaded a mod where I could play as Deadpool.
Yep.
Which was really cool. There's music add-ons, like somebody already had the what's that Zelda that's out for the Switch?
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, thank you. So somebody has like all like you download the Steam Workshop add-on, and instead of the in-game music, it's the Breath of the Wild music throughout the whole time. So there's all these different things you can add, difficulty things, you can add UI elements, you can add, or you can download pre-built or preset map seeds. So the map is designed a certain way.
Right. Right. Like you do in Minecraft. Like
Right.
when you can like enter the seed code or whatever. Yeah, I like the random stuff though. That was a big part of it for me.
Right.
Because like you'd play the first time and you're like, all right, so I go to the grassy place and I get this, and then I go over here and I get rabbits and everything's great. And then you're like, rocks. Rocks are everywhere.
It's all fucking rocks.
Nothing but rocks. I got 85 flint and no twigs. Great. Everything's the best. That was kind of why I played the fire girl so much, because she could just light stuff on fire. So like worst case scenario, because like no matter what, if you are caught in the dark, you are going to die. So the ability to just light a tree on fire, or like an entire grassy plain or whatever, I think is kind of handy felt good. I was like, all right, never needed to worry too much. Will something burn? Good.
The thing I like about this game, and again, we've talked about other survival games a bunch of times in this episode, but so you got your Minecraft. Even in the chat there, other Nicole said, Minecraft. And then I've played Terraria. When it comes to those survival games that are more about exploration than they are surviving, Terraria is my favorite. I absolutely love Terraria. If you're not familiar with it, I highly recommend checking it out. I think by now just about the world is familiar with it because I think it's the only survival game that comes close to being as popular as Minecraft.
Yeah.
But it plays. The thing I always compare it to is if you are familiar with The Legend of Zelda 2, Link's Awakening on the NES, where it was side scroller.
Yep.
That's how it looks.
Okay.
Yeah, and it just you start off and again, but it's very Minecraft. So it's Minecraft, but it's 2-dimensional.
Yeah.
The element of that is you don't get so lost, like you're always on the outside looking in. Like once you get down into digging and you're in like caves and digging, like it feels very like you're like an ant farm because you're on that outside looking in. But anyway, yeah. So I love that. And I talked too much about Terraria and I lost my train of thought. Where was I? Oh yeah. So with those games, they don't give you a purpose, right? Like you really have to. It's really make your own adventure, whether it be Minecraft or Terraria or several other games. You could theoretically load into the game and never move your character, and your character will just sit there until you decide to move him.
Yep.
This game makes you get off your ass and move because if you just sit there, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And you're gonna starve.
It's gonna go.
Right. It's either gonna get dark and you're gonna die. So it motivates you to kind of do things, and you want to move faster and get it going and establish a base. And again, you die, you start over, and every time you start over, you're going a little bit faster and a little bit more efficient.
Yeah.
So it really is. It's a game that while I'm really happy that we did it for the show, and I mean, it's been around for, Don't Starve has been around for a while, and then Don't Starve Together is a little over a year and a little under a year and a half old. So obviously it's there. It's got its foot base. People like it or they don't, but I'm glad we're doing it, but it's also tough to get a full experience out of it within the 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
So it's almost like we could probably just play that for 2 more weeks and have episode 2 also be about that game and have all new things to talk about.
Well,
because
I think
of
we'll
how
just
much
come back in 6 months and then we'll talk about it again.
Yeah. Kind of the Don't Starve revisited.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
It's like having a repeat guest on Mind of a Geek.
Exactly. Now you're getting it.
So what would you say overall final rating of DST?
What did we decide? We decided on like a 1 to 10. Is that what we decided on?
I don't remember.
Yeah, something like that. I got to tell you, because I'm real picky about my video games too. I think I'm going to go ahead and give this one like a solid 8. This game was great. It's solidly built. It plays really well. It's comprehensive. It's easy to pick up, hard to master, fun to play with a friend. You give it a solid 8. How about you?
I would say it's a good ballpark. I mean, if we're gonna, I guess again that scale and it will kind of form itself as we go.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I mean, in regards to indie games, I would say it's in that ballpark. I would say a solid 8 or 9, somewhere even up there, just because with so many indie games are very reminiscent of so many app games where they're just consume. And what I mean by that is you're not getting a quality experience out of the game in some ways.
Yeah.
It's meant to be something that you play for a day and find something else.
Yep.
Whereas this game, it feels more polished. It's deeper. There's a lot more to it. It's a game where for the $15, and we didn't mention at the top of the show when we mentioned the price, you get 2 copies of it. Right. So, you and a friend pitch in $7 or $7.50 a piece, and you've got this game that you'll get more time out of than many $60 AAA titles these days.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot to this game. If you like survival games and you like teamwork, then there is plenty of time to be gotten out of this game.
Yeah.
So
and you can absolutely play it by yourself, but it's hard.
You can. So
but you can.
Really quick on that last note, because you played the iPad version, which I'm sure is the same as Don't Starve on the PC. Just
Right.
So there is an element of difficulty to Don't Starve Together by itself over Don't Starve proper.
I mean, I think so. Like
Yeah.
I said, in that you're like, yes, you have teamwork, and yes, you can, cooperate and try and do things that are a little more complicated, a little faster. You are also fighting for the limited resource of food,
Right.
which is a big one. So like, yeah, we set up camp real quick, and we sure did build that science machine and everything like that. But we've got 3 piles of berries between the two of us, and that's not going to go well.
No. And I think I noticed too that different characters are differently satiated with different types of
Yes.
food.
Yeah, they all have their preferences.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, I mean, the wiki, I barely got into the wiki, but it was comprehensive.
Yeah. Now the only
There's
thing
a lot of people.
the only thing that we did notice, the one negative, that the only negative that we encountered in our time playing it was that, and I don't know if it was because maybe one of us didn't have the mod installed.
Oh, yeah.
But like when I tried to play as Deadpool in our multiplayer game, it let me enable it on my server, but it crashed you out.
Yeah, it did.
So now typically with a Steam game with mods installed, whether it's like your ARCs or things like that, anything that's multiplayer server based with mods, usually when you go to get into it before you launch it, before it launches into it, the Steam will automatically download that Steam Workshop item and then launch you into it. So this game doesn't feature that. So so again, if you are planning to play this, if you are planning to play with a friend and with mods, make sure everybody downloads the same mods.
Right.
If they are server-side mods. If they're client-side mods like UI, things like that, those aren't going to make a difference.
Yeah.
But anything that affects a server, you need to make sure everybody has the mod installed. Otherwise, people will not be able to play.
Right.
I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Look at that, episode 1.
Woo.
Do we have an idea of what we are doing in 2 weeks?
I do not have a clue what we're doing in 2 weeks.
Do we want
That's the thing we should have talked about like an hour ago.
It is. Do we want to? What was that game that you had gifted? Do we want to do that one?
Yeah. What did I give you? I gifted you Guacamelee.
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 Do we want to do
the luchador?
Do we want to do Guacamelee for episode 2?
I think we should.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. We'll stream it this time.
Oh yeah, the gameplay. Yeah, we never did that.
No, we didn't. I'm sure we'll play it again. It's fine.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
So yeah. So for those that aren't familiar, this show will be bi-weekly. So it'll be every other Monday, and it will be live at 9:30 p.m. So yeah. Excuse me. Sorry.
Nailed it.
So I think if you have nothing else to say about Don't Starve Together, I think we're ready to close out.
I'm good.
Cool.
I am all set.
Very cool. What is I didn't do a script for the closeout. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, anyway, as I said, we are recorded live on Twitch every Monday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, or every other Monday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. You can follow us both individually on Twitch and watch as we explore, enjoy, and express early opinions of the games that we will be discussing next episode. You can follow Amy at, I always say it wrong.
Twitch.tv/Daniora, DANIORA.
There you go. And you can follow me at twitch.tv/xsynicx, which is XSYNEKX. If you have a game that you would like to suggest that we play, you can email us at indiecasefiles@gmail.com, or you can tweet at us at indiecasefiles. And we will add any games that are suggested to the list. We are going to try and aim towards like that sub $20 indie game mark for the show, but there will be exceptions now and then, so we'll see. And if you're gonna, if you want to gift us a game to play for the show, then make it whatever you want. We don't really care. Yeah. If you would like to help support Indie Case Files and all the other content produced on Inked Geek Studios, please consider going to patreon.com/IG Studios. As little as $1 a month will help support this and other great shows. And a big thank you to everybody that currently supports the studio in that way.
You're welcome.
As Annalisa says, give them $1.
Give them $1.
So that'll do it for this week's episode. I'm really excited that this got off the ground. We've been kind of talking about it since like pre-Nerdtacular.
Yeah, I want to say it was like March.
Probably. I think so. Yeah, it was right around
fun.
once the studio started being like overly consistent again.
Yeah.
So everything was kind of coming back, and yeah. Excuse me. I am out of it. See, all my other shows, look. Dal97 has just donated $10.
Oh,
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah.
I assume on Twitch. I don't know what my bot said.
Yeah. I think.
I don't know. I'll have to look.
I don't know.
But thank you. So again, if you are listening to the podcast version of this, you can do twitch.tv/InkedGeekStudios, and that's where all of the shows are recorded live. So, yeah. I think we're good. I don't have outro
think we're
music,
good.
so I'm just going to do...
Oh, good.
Oh, good. We didn't do outro music. Again,
Show's a disaster.
episode 1. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks. You've been listening to an Inked Geek Studios podcast. For this and other great shows, go to inkedgeekstudios.com.